We're rocking and we're rolling and we're rocking and we're rolling and we're rocking and we're rolling.
Rocking in the free world.
Rocking in the free world. That's what we're doing.
The song. That's the song. I'm gonna show you so much like old white people music.
Oh, no. White people are always trying to show me. Always trying to show me shit. Hello, listeners. How are we doing today? Welcome to another episode of You're Gonna Be Okay. I'm your host, Tony D Mac. As always, got a special guest in the building. Give it up for Lex.
Hello.
Hello. Don't just be dry.
Well, hello. I'm Lex E.
Lex E.
Lex E on
Lex
the
E
track. Let's
on the
redo
track.
that. We should do that.
Okay.
Because it's Lex E. That's why I stopped.
Okay.
I was like, I was waiting for you to say E.
Well,
It's
I've been
Lex
saying
E.
I've been going by Lex the whole entire time.
No, it's
Oh
Lex
my
E.
god. Okay. I've been going by Lex. All right. Welcome to another episode of You're Gonna Be Okay. I'm the host, Tony Mac. As always, I got special guest in the building. Give it up for Lex E.
Hey everybody, what's up?
Hello. It's still dry.
Okay, I'm like that's just I'm on the spectrum.
How are you?
I am good. No, I'm just kidding. No, I am on cloud nine.
Cloud nine.
I have to say, being a musician, I got to see some greats last night, and
Yeah.
mind blowing to the point where I was like, I want to be an 8-year-old on stage and have a bunch of people screaming like that sounds amazing.
She's a great musician. I've heard her new music. If you have not heard it, check out Eclectic. It's amazing.
Eclectic, a little something for everyone.
A little something for everybody.
It's got a mix of genres because, as I was telling you, obviously I'm fully inspired by the old white folk music, you know. But then, like, I also love Motown and I love soul and I love jazz and just these different sounds, these different combinations.
Yeah.
And then, honestly, when you hear music, like, it's one of those things where it can be, no matter where you're from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, some sound is going to hit you in a certain way, and that's the frequency, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like to be able to deliver that frequency, however it might be, just, staying positive, whatever your message is, right? Mm-hmm. But it was really inspiring to see basically these people still giving this positive message.
Yeah. And, at 80 years old.
Yeah. And it was all like, there was no fights. There was nothing. It was just literally like, I mean, I might have been probably the rowdiest person there, like, sounding like, get the fuck down.
Were you trying to mosh pit?
I mean, okay, I did try to like I moved from my seat because I had great seats. My dad and I splurged a bit, but it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. You know what I mean? But so I go run up to the stage, like kind of to the front, and this like security guy, he sees me, and I mean, mind you, I stand out all the time, but normally the security people will be down, like they see me, they're like, yeah, you live.
She's a cool one.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then this fool looked at me and I said, "Oh no, you're the fun buster, huh?"
Ooh,
and he said, "I don't think you like that." And and he like gave me this look, and I was like, "Oh, I was just kidding. Get it, you're the fun buster." And
he was trying to take you out.
No, he really. And then he said, "Where's your wristband?" And then I looked at him and I said, "See, you are the fun buster." And then I went back to my seat. But then when I was back at my seat, I kept looking at him. I was like,
so you snuck into like a different section.
I tried, because like I was over. Oh wait, oh my god, that's me. Like, so on my list of like old rockers I've seen, so Robert Plant was one of the first people I saw. Which Robert Plant is a part of Led Zeppelin. For people who aren't aware. Led Zeppelin obviously like groomed me as a child. Like that might be the wrong word to say in this day. Especially with Jimmy Page and anyways. But no, but Robert Plant was amazing, right? And but I saw him at Symphony Hall, and mind you, there's all these like, I mean, I was the youngest person there. I was 18, 19 at the time.
Yeah.
Everyone there is at least 60 plus. My dad was like 50 something, like good on him, but so we go to this show, all these old folks are, like, it's Robert fucking Plant, and they're staying in their seats. And I'm like, he's right there, so I rally up all these fucking old people and I say, let's rush the stage.
Oh, you're crazy.
they all said, "Fuck yeah!"
Yeah, and they did it.
We all rushed the stage. The security guards were not expecting it. They all like got scared and like
Yeah.
tried to link up, and
Yeah.
like me and my dad are right in the front, like yeah, you know. And then
Yeah.
like the security guys like yelling at my dad, yelling at me. He's like, "No, you need to. You guys, you're gonna get kicked out." And we're
Yeah.
like, "Fuck yeah," you know. Like
So you like to be like
I have to
the
be right there.
right there in the center, but you like to rally people up to.
100%, like
Yeah.
because that's you know, as someone who plays music, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to see a bunch of people just fucking going to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Oh, you're sitting down at my show, like why don't
Yeah.
you just turn on the fucking radio? No, come here,
Have fun.
melt my face.
Do you
know?
perform too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have to say, like, playing solo,
Mm-hmm.
you're probably just gonna be sitting down and watching me. It's not gonna
Yeah.
be like
One woman show.
It's been the one woman show for quite a minute, but just recently I feel like I've been acquiring like my band,
Your
you
people.
know, like exactly
Yeah.
the group that also want to just do it, you
Mhm.
know, and like that's the hard part is like people talk, right? Like I
Yeah.
talked for a long time, I talked for years. I
Yeah.
want to do this, I want to do that, and
Yeah.
instead of just fucking doing it,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
So now I'm a little harder on myself. I like, you know, put my nose to the pavement.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm not doing that, I'm a mom, so
Yeah.
it's like
So
juggling all that.
how do you balance being a mom and being creative artistically?
I mean, we kind of incorporate the two.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things where it's like being a mom obviously comes first to everything.
Mhm.
You know, like I don't have a social life. I don't, you know, I barely go play live shows just because I can't, you know, it's hard for me to like, to go on tour, you know, right now. She's so young, you know.
Yeah.
When she gets a little older, you know, if I ever got an opportunity, like, you know, if it pays well enough, I'd like to, you know,
Yeah.
get her homeschooled and, you know, take her on tour. I want her to be immersed in that
Yeah.
music, in that because she has it in her too. I see it.
Yeah.
We play music all the time. We dance, we sing, we, you know, so basically I use that creativity with my child, you know, and then with those times, and then the little break that I get where she goes to her dad's house, that's when I use all that and then put something out,
Okay.
you know.
Okay. All right. So I've heard you. I've heard your album or EP, right? Heard your EP. What is your favorite song from the EP?
Oh, that's a hard one. I'd say because like okay, not to sound like pompous, but I have definitely listened to it like over and over again.
I mean, it's your art, so
well, I'm proud of it.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's completely self-produced. I basically just taught myself how to do the things, and with the minimal stuff that I acquired, I just make it work. And
like you have a very unique sound, which I appreciate, and it's very different from people that I've heard. Like so, it's like me, it's like a breath of fresh air. It's like okay, people actually can try different genres of music, and you don't have to be put into this one box.
100%. I feel like people who put themselves in one category, they're limiting themselves on everything else. And like personally, like I don't listen to a lot of quote mainstream music.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the feeling I get when I listen to it. You know, it's not a positive feeling. It's like sometimes it can give you anxiety. Sometimes it can give you,
Yeah, come here. We were talking about the
frequencies.
Yeah. So we were talking about the frequencies, the 808s.
Exactly, like that 808 beat. I mean, I use it in one of my songs. You know what I mean? But that's the thing. I can when I listen to that. So in the song "Oh Side or No Side," that's the one where I use the heavy 808.
Yeah.
And when you listen to it, it make like I don't know what it does, but I swear it like it. If I could explain it with your eyes, it like causes the demons to kind of get excited. You know what I mean?
Really?
And it's like
yeah.
That's where it's like, but to be able to balance those demons, right? So I feel like when people are faced with those demons in certain circumstances, like at shows and stuff, when they're not aware, then they start wreaking havoc. They start doing horrible things. Like look at the Travis Scott thing. Look at
Travis Scott thing was very interesting.
That was wild. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to get into the whole like Illuminati shit. You know what I mean? Like nobody's knocked on my door yet. You know what I mean? But it's just like I mean, I don't know. But that's the thing though. Is like like people have been moshing for years, right? You know, so like how come so many people died there? You know, like it was just like I mean, that was worse than that thing at Limp Bizkit like years ago. You know what I mean? Like the same thing. Limp Bizkit even they had such a for that time period. It was like a negative vibration that like. It because people were angry, right?
Yeah.
Like
so music has the power to really influence you.
100%. And if you're already angry and you're listening to angrier music, what is it gonna do? It's gonna have you go, fuck it, you
Yeah.
know? And then like, I don't know, man. Like, call me a fucking hippie, but
Yeah.
I'm like, you know.
Are you hippie-ish?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I would call myself like a pacifist anarchist. You know,
Okay.
like I'm like, it's like I want peace, but I also am like, but don't fuck with me. You know
Well,
what I
that I mean, that's
mean?
just you just want peace. That's really what it is. Because like,
I will defend my peace.
yeah, you defend your peace. Like,
Yeah.
peace is so hard to maintain. It's so hard to like.
And I get very little peace.
Yeah.
It's like
So that one piece, I will protect it at all costs.
100%.
I will fight you over some peace. Over some peace.
You know, and it's like that's the thing. It's like, and I'm one. I will always use my words, right?
Yeah.
And then, like that's the thing. When I see people just resort to just physical violence, it's like, what are you? Like, what is going on? You know what I mean? Like, you know, I was at a Wu-Tang show and like I was really bummed. Like, I fucking love Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
Love Wu-Tang Clan, and it was like people are just fighting everywhere, and I'm like, dude, you're ruining it for Wu-Tang's for the children. You know what I mean? Like no children should have been present at that fucking show. And I got COVID. Oh, but side note, Method Man like threw his like his water with his water
Should have
bottle.
sued him.
And no, it went in my mouth, and because like I was like I felt like I was connected. You know?
I would have sued Sam.
Well, Method Man, if you're watching this, you gave me COVID, you son of a bitch. I'm just kidding. But it was a great show though, minus the the fights. But again, it's just I feel like sometimes like when obviously like that level of oppression and that level of just everything that is going on in the world, it's just I can feel again it's that anger, that animosity that it comes out.
It's like when people are so like oppressed for a certain period of time, like when do you think that they're gonna explode? They're gonna like
shit, it should have been like fucking 40, 50 fucking years ago, you know what I mean? Like fuck.
I mean, again,
more than that.
It's just they always have a plan for it. Like, we're gonna riot, we tear shit up, and then shit just go back to normal.
But I don't even feel like the thing is what they do. This is my thought on it. You oppress someone long enough, right? They become accustomed to that's their norm, right? That is the norm. This nothing, right? Having to fight, being told that you're worthless, whatever it is, you are put in a box. You know what I mean? So then those people that again try to break out of the box, they're then casted out by these people who are still living in that oppression and that hate, and will then project that, like that's still negativity, you know what I mean? And it makes it again harder for those individuals to become something, because again, it's like, what is that? Ancestral trauma, you know what I mean? Goes back from generations. Not everybody had a fucking happy fucking upbringing their whole life, you know what I mean? We all know how America is America. Shit's fucked up, you know? I don't blame people for being angry, I
mean, but we gotta put anger into the right places.
And not just that. Be mad at the right people. Don't be mad at your brothers. Don't be mad at your sisters. Be mad at the fucking man who's keeping you down, you know?
Man.
Like
if you haven't this part, go back and listen to the last episode where we talk about the man.
Hey, everybody knows the man. The man sucks. Like,
we don't know who the man is, but the man,
he sucks. You know,
we got to put a name to the man.
I mean, oh god. I'm not trying to say anything about men, but there's just I feel like, it's so funny, like the argument, right, that a lot of men like in power that they say why women won't be in power is because they run on emotion, which I think is really funny because anger is also an emotion, right? Men are fueled by anger, but it's praised. It's wow, you are a fighter. But then if a woman gets loud, if a woman is a fighter, she's a bitch. She is a loud, nasty woman. You know, I say be nasty, be loud. Because that's the thing. We're not emotional because of that. Again, oppress someone long enough, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, they're gonna eventually explode. Like,
and especially like like I can't speak on women of color or I can speak only on my own what I've been through, and I understand my level of oppression, but I also understand my level of privilege with what I've just been given just by being born. And I feel like it's my duty to open that platform and create those spaces for those voices to be heard. And I feel like as like a producer, right? A photographer, the artistic person that I am, I want to create this safe space for all women.
Yeah.
All I shouldn't even say all women, all people.
Yeah. No, but if you're a mission that you feel like is like women, right? That if that's your thing, that's your thing. You know what I'm saying? It can be exclusive because you have a voice. And should be able to use your voice for whatever you want your voice to be for.
Well, and it's like, you know, I feel like a lot of times women also, it's like for me, for instance, right, I can say that, like, I've been wanting to make my own EP for years, right?
Mm-hmm.
But every dude who said he was going to help me, it was fucking weird,
Yeah.
you know? And it was like, they always wanted something. And all of a sudden, I'm coming over to sing, but his dick's out. Like, what the fuck?
That's weird.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I need a microphone.
Yeah.
You know? Are those thing on? I'm just gonna. But that's where I'm saying, like, create.
Right.
But to create that space, though, where, you know, like, it's like they can just create their art and it's not going to be, you know, like, whether that or even be content, whatever it is, like, putting them in a space where it's like, honey, like, I can only imagine what it's like to, like, I've never been in, you know, in the sex industry, you know what I mean? But I would never shame a woman who does that, you know? I just want to create a safe space for her to, like, actually do that stuff versus it being like, oh, you got to go to Tim's garage or, you know.
That's just weird in itself, you know.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and I know a lot of, like, I've like a lot of the times, like, when you see, like, even like Playboy, things like this, like, there are a lot of male photographers, and I'm not trying to say that it's, you know, it shouldn't be, but at the same time,
I mean, sex
there's
sells.
A lot of 100%. But wouldn't it also be smart though to, like, to have the sex that's, you know, like, okay, like, women know, like, their body parts that are accentuated and where they should, you know, where they want to show off or whatever. It's art, and that's how it should be perceived, right?
Right.
Versus, like, I don't know, like, oh, like, no, I don't. And again, to create a space for them to feel that they can do these things and not be judged or not even have it, like, can you imagine, like, some guys, like, if you don't do this, I'm gonna send all these pictures out that, you know what I mean? Like,
that happens.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically,
creating a safe space for people to feel comfortable creating the art that they want.
100%. That's the end goal for me, and it's like, just to, again, like, because that's what's going to help people. That's what's going to stop that anger. That's what's going to stop that oppression, is by creating these environments for them to succeed and not just be mundane. You know, like, there's everyone, like, I think that your dreams can come true, right? But you have to do it. Yeah. And you have to do the most for it. You know, if you want to, like, and whatever you do, be the fucking best at it. Like, why the fuck not, you know? Or if you don't think you're the best at it, keep fucking going until you do. You know, it's like, fake it till you fucking make it, you know?
Nah, I feel like you just gotta just keep. I don't like to fake it. You don't like to fake. I like to just keep it real. It is what it is. Like, just do the work. Do the work, and consistency is really the main thing. Is being consistent.
But also with the realist aspect, which I'm also very much a realist, right? I'm a very huge it is what it is kind of person. But you gotta have hope. I feel like if you don't have hope or faith, whatever you want to call it, whatever that I call it, that little beam of light that's in your chest, you know, whenever you feel something that you want, you know, you can almost, it feels like a burning thing in there. That's the type of shit that you can't you gotta go with it. You gotta, you know, because the thing is, if you keep saying, oh, well, I'm never gonna make it out of here, or I'm never, you know, then you probably won't. You know, because that's the mindset that you're telling yourself. And, like, you know, it's just words, vibrations, again, back to frequencies. They all have these.
My friend has this he has this analogy, right? He said, your mind is like a window. And sometimes your window gets dirty, sometimes your window gets smudged, you right on your window, but it's like, take time to clean your window off. And I was just like, bro, like, he was just like, put some Windex on it and just.
And by Windex, he means sage and Palo Santo.
So whatever you want to put on there. But he's like, just clean it up sometime. Clean off the window so you can see clearly, see with a fresh perspective. Like, when you clean your window off, you're like, damn, it's shiny. You know, you see your reflection in it.
And it's the also removing yourself.
Yeah.
When you can actually look and say, like, it's called, because, like, I was watching this thing and it was talking about what about me? You know, and it's saying, like, so when you hear something, what about me? You know, how come I don't have that? How come I don't, you know, No.
Yeah.
No, that
Yeah.
should not be our mentality. Our mentality should be completely like outside of ourselves, right? And anything that we do that we think is even great, again, give yourself gratitude for it. But again, keep going.
Yeah.
You know, you can't rest on it. You can't, and then you can't be bitter and think that like, you know, it's like even if it doesn't go anywhere, you still just you make it to make it. And like, who knows? Maybe when you're dead, finally someone will catch on to it. You know what I mean?
That's the second part about being an artist. Like when you like are gone, we're like, oh yeah, he was the best man. It was like give people their flowers while they're here. Right.
Give me
now.
2 months. I'm cutting off my ear.
So I wanted to talk about like on your album EP, sorry, the drama, the song, the drama. What inspired that song?
Well, you know, so ironically, so it's actually kind of funny. So I don't. Did you watch that show, The Idol?
I don't know.
It was The Weekend. I mean, honestly, the show was kind of like. I mean, I liked it, but like, it was just like definitely like. There was a lot of stuff that it was a lot of like just sex and like stuff, but the music in it was cool. And the thing was, is like this chick.
Oh,
she
was. I watched a clip of the show.
So you know what I'm talking about, yeah. So this chick, you know, she's a pop star or whatever, and she produces her own music. And I'm watching her do all this shit. And I'm like, I can do that shit.
Yeah.
And so what did I do? I fucking sat down and I started just making music and like kind of just watching them like and seeing how they did it in the movie kind of like, you know, it made it easy for me to like see like, oh, okay. And also it's not a competition, right? Like, you know, and that's where I feel like me being a future producer is where it's like I'm not just making music for me to sing on. Like if you like something I make, fucking I'll make you some shit. You know? Like, I have ADHD.
The drama.
The drama. No, so
the song, the drama.
So, but I'm watching The Idol, and you know, I start making this song, and I wanted to sample. So I created everything for it first, but I had this intro and I had this midsection, but I wanted to use a soundbite from an old movie, but I wasn't sure what movie.
That soundbite was absolutely perfect.
Right?
Yeah.
And then the craziest part is like I swear, like I believe there's a God, whatever God might be. I don't know if it's in the faith of how this man-made religion works, but me and whatever's out there, we got a relationship,
Yeah,
and
that's amazing.
I just was like, I why did I pick The Great Dictator?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then if you look at what's going on right now,
that's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
It's perfect,
perfectly
right now.
And for anyone who's never seen The Great Dictator, I mean, you might be off. It might seem off-putting because obviously it has to do with Hitler, and but the thing is that what happened is it shows what would have happened had that man stopped the genocide, stopped the hate, and just said, "What if we all just fucking loved each other?" You know what I mean? And that's the point of that movie, is that there should be no hate. There should be no, like, the whole my land is your land. We were instilled that as children, but then we find out that this is stolen land.
Yeah.
What's going on over there? Stolen. It's all based upon ground. The air is the same everywhere, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this song, having that speech, the final speech that he made, is when, so it's basically this Jewish barber who happens to look like the dictator. He gets to step in the role of the dictator to basically end World War II.
Yeah.
And it's the speech in it alone is just, if you ever get a chance to listen to the full speech, it's like it's really heartwarming.
Yeah.
And it's the look on his face even when he says it. It's just during that time, the Nazi genocide was, like the Nazis were killing all the Jews, and it was still happening. And so when that movie came out, Europe actually shunned that movie because they were pro-Nazi.
Yeah.
And that's fucked up. But if you look at even today, right now, with the whole Palestine and Israel, no one should be dying, period, And so with this song, that's where it's kind of like, I hope that message kind of gets across. And then my own lyrics within it just all came together, where it's, hopefully you find what you need to feel free, but you gotta let all that other shit go, because you can't hurt other people. Hurting someone else because they believe something different than you, or because they aren't like you.
Yeah.
That's not a reason to fucking hate somebody. That's like learning and knowing. That's the beauty.
Understanding.
Exactly. Like, taking the time to want to understand, versus being like, no, No.
because they're like even like there's some similarities between I'm reading this book right now. It's like this. It's like it's 4 different religions. So it's Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and Buddhism, all in one form of context. But one of the first chapters is like people kill because we think differently than the other people. Like we believe something different than other people. And it's like the book wants to put in perspective like all of the religions came from one place, and we are all the same.
They all got different gods, but
Yeah.
the same devil.
Yeah, it's all the
You know
same.
what I mean?
Like
Like,
you took something and you weaponized it. You weaponized religion because if you're not Buddhist, if you're not
look at
Muslim,
Christianity in
if you-
general. I
yeah,
mean, it's like it's I have no problem with someone believing in Jesus. I have
Mm.
no problem with someone not believing in Jesus. What I
Yeah.
have a problem with is that you taking this book that was not written by God himself. It was
Yeah.
written by a man who interpreted. And you know what man's fault is? They
Mm.
make mistakes.
Yeah.
God doesn't make mistakes.
Yeah.
Man does. So all these words, like I could write a book.
Mm.
I could die a million years from now and someone could just say, this was, you know what I mean? But like, does it mean that all my words are truth?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's your own perception of what you believe to be true.
well, and then you shouldn't, and it's like, and like all the stuff in it is just so fucking ass backwards and hypocritical that it's like, no sin is greater than the other, right? But then it's like, but they're like, you can't be gay, you can't be this,
Yeah.
and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, actually, you know what? I consider myself a lot like Jesus, right? I have friends with a shit ton of prostitutes and drug addicts, and you know what? I would wash their feet 100 times before I would wash fucking
some random.
like
I got you.
like I'm trying to think of someone who like is in power, but I was like, I hate all the motherfuckers, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's just I just feel that there's a lot to learn still. Like, and there's like I feel like the beauty of our generation specifically is that we take the time to want to understand and we question constantly why things are the way they are.
We question everything, and it's like you have to question things. You have to question why things are the way they are.
No, and then with ADHD, I got a million questions for everything. I'm like, why is it like this? Why is it like that? Like my whole life, it was like I would be asking these broad ass questions. Like I remember even in elementary school, I was the weird girl. That was changed. But but it's just like I would ask these questions that were just so like crazy and like far fetched that the teachers would even be like, I don't know how to fucking answer that. Like.
But that makes you. That's what makes you different. That's what makes you a little different from everybody else.
My perspective is just so broad that it's like, but that's even why I think I've been hurt so much in my life is that it's one of those things that I understand why they hurt me.
Yeah.
And I don't see, and that's the thing is I won't own that hurt because I can get over that.
Yeah.
I didn't die.
Yeah.
I got to move on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like my understanding of forgiveness runs so deep to the point where like now I'm learning these things called boundaries, which I thought was my villain era.
Yeah,
but now I'm just setting boundaries.
I'm learning boundaries as well.
But that's because you're probably like me, where it was like you're that kid who was like you were dependent. People like took care of yourself. Like
I was very very independent, but still it was like I was seeking like
validation.
Yeah.
People pleasing.
Yeah, people pleasing. Wanted to be loved and like wanted to be accepted, and I felt like I was never accepted. So something for me is like now I'm like I don't care no more. Where it's just like either you're gonna like me for who I am or you're not gonna like me.
I feel like that's the beauty of getting older though too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like when you're a kid, that's the thing though. I feel like I've always had that mentality, right? Like I kind of just never gave a fuck, and it's not that I like intentionally didn't give a fuck. It's not like my brain just has so much going on that I physically can